What beautiful, beautiful, amazing words. Nothing anyone could ever say would do better than to show what a great man and wonderful father your dad was. Thank you. Thank you. Now, it's truly an honor for me to speak about my dear friend and my mentor, Harry Reid of Searchlight, Nevada, as he would proudly refer to himself. First, let me say to Landra, the love of Harry's life for 62 years, who he called his rock. The only time I ever saw Harry cry is when he told me Landra had had an awful car accident and had broken so many bones. He said over and over again, as tears streamed down his cheeks, "My poor little Landra, my poor little Landra." Landra, I know nothing can replace the hole in your heart right now. But just know that every single person in this room, and literally thousands more across the nation, are holding you in their hearts as you endure this painful loss with your family. I lost my dad a month ago, but he's still with me, just as I know Harry is with all of us and will always be. 5 years ago, at the unveiling of Harry's official portrait, I said, "It'll be quite some time until we see another like Harry Mason Reid." 5 years later, that statement remains as true as ever. He was one of a kind. The presence of so many distinguished guests at this memorial, President Biden, President Obama, Speaker Pelosi, Elder Ballard of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and so many others, so many of my colleagues who came here, both present and those who previously served in the Senate. All of us being here is proof of the wide and deep impact that Harry had on this world. Now, that being said, no doubt, Harry would be extremely annoyed and embarrassed that so many of us made a trip out to Las Vegas for him. I know nothing he'd want less than to sit through a bunch of speeches talking about how great he was. But I knew Harry well, and even though he wouldn't want it, I know a part of him would enjoy it. He'd sort of be like Sid Caesar after he got some applause. No, please, no more applause. I got to know Harry when I came to the Senate in 1999. Here was this man, a soft-spoken Mormon from Searchlight, a town that was miles away from nowhere, at least in my mind. And here I was, a brash Jewish kid out of Brooklyn, a borough that's nearly as populous as the state of Nevada. We were a match made in heaven. I quickly learned that just beneath Harry's soft-spoken nature was a truly honest and original character. There are so many stories. Let me tell you one. Back in 2012, during the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, Harry called me all excitedly and summoned me to his hotel room late at night. I knocked on the door and Harry let me in. I'm not sure if Landra remembers, but she was there. I thought we were going to discuss some important issue about the next day's convention. But before I could gather my thoughts, Harry pulled me aside into the small little bathroom. We were virtually on top of each other, and he lowered his voice. "Chuck, I want you to take care of something important," he said, before pulling out a wad of cash out of his wallet and peeling off 4 $100 bills. "You know," he said, "you've been working hard and doing a lot of the right things to be Democratic leader, but you need to dress better. Please buy some better shoes." Now, at first I thought Harry pulled me into this little bathroom because he didn't want Landra to see him wasting $400 on the Senate's worst-dressed member. But when I asked Harry about it later, he said to me he didn't want to embarrass me in front of Landra. That was Harry to a T. It was no secret that Harry didn't care for the decorum of public office, but he did know how to dress his part. He cut his hair regularly, he shined his shoes, he wore nice suits from clothiers like Hickey Friedman that I couldn't afford. But a few years later, I got the better of Harry when I showed up to the Senate wearing a Hickey Freeman suit of my own. Harry was surprised. He said, "Chuck, I thought you said you could never afford a Hickey Freeman suit." I told him I can't, so I visited the warehouse in Rochester and bought one at a wholesale price. Harry stopped slipping me money for clothes after that. Now, to be clear, I don't just travel around the state looking for good deals on clothing. For example, as many of you know, every year I attend and speak at dozens of college graduation ceremonies around New York every May and June. Harry, of course, knew about this tradition, and he thought it was hilarious. In fact, he liked it so much that one day he gathered all 100 of his staffers into his office and asked me to deliver the entire 15-minute speech to all of them. But after I became Democratic leader, he started to worry about my habit. Every graduation season, he'd call up my wife, Iris, who's here today, and plead with her. You got to stop him from going to every graduation and every event. He's got to garner his strength and his health. That's just who Harry was. If you were lucky enough that he cared about you and called you his friend, then he cared about you with every fiber of his being. Sometimes you could even say cared a little too much. You know, Landra wasn't the only woman I've seen Harry kiss passionately on the lips. It was back in 2006. Harry and I were watching the election returns together. They announced our friend Claire McCaskill was the winner of the Senate race in Missouri, and we would take back the Senate. And I kid you not, Harry went up to the TV screen and smacked Claire on his lips on hers. His lips remained attached to the TV screen for a full 10 seconds. He kissed Claire's image so passionately, I had to get up and wipe the copious spittle off the TV screen. That's how much we all loved Harry. So Harry, in short, was one of the most incredible individuals I've ever met. The sort of person you come across only a handful of times in your entire life. He was tough as nails, a fighter to his core, but also one of the most compassionate individuals you could ever imagine. He never forgot where he came from. He always stuck up for the underdog and the little guy. I believe Harry drew a lot of that compassion from his faith. He grew up, of course, as everyone knows, in a town with more than a dozen brothels and no church. But as many here know, after Harry moved to Henderson and met Landra, they both converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Harry kept the Book of Mormon in his office, and I'd like to read a verse from 2 Nephi, chapter 9, that gives me great comfort after the loss of my dear, dear friend and mentor. Oh, how great the plan of our God! For on the other hand, the paradise of God must deliver up the spirits of the righteous, and the grave deliver up the body of the righteous, and the spirit and the body is restored to itself again, and all men become incorruptible and immortal, and they are living souls. They are living souls. When you lose someone special, they're never truly gone. They always stay with you. For those of us in the Senate Democratic Caucus, I think that was especially true this past week as we observed the anniversary of the violent insurrection against our U.S. Capitol, one of the darkest moments for our democracy in living memory. The day saw so many acts of selflessness and heroism by our U.S. Capitol Police, who once counted among their esteemed ranks one Harry Mason Reid, who served as an officer while studying at George Washington School of Law. In so many ways, Harry was a guardian and steward of the Senate, literally and figuratively. He took great care of the Senate as an institution. he also knew that the Senate had to adapt to changing times. As we confront the challenges of the coming weeks and months ahead, I take comfort knowing that Harry is with us in spirit, walking alongside us. He's right there as we continue the work he dedicated himself to for so many years. May God rest his immortal soul, and may his memory be a blessing to all of us.